Are y'all hearing me now? But Ishmael is not the miracle child and the promised child that God promised. Ishmael is a type of the flesh. Ishmael is a type of the curse. But when you get to thinking about Isaac, it took God to intervene to give Abraham and Sarah that boy by the name of Isaac. Now, when it come time for them to pass down the blessing, God had to set aside the firstborn and establish the second. God set aside that child by the name of Ishmael and thrust them out, and he mocked Isaac. Come on now. And God said, thrust her out. The bondwoman and the child, thrust them out of here. But God blessed Ishmael. Ishmael was going to have children, and they would become princesses, and they'd have land. But they do not have right and title deed to the promise that God made to Abraham. Anybody seen the picture of Jerusalem? Anybody seen that big gold dome right in the center of the city of Jerusalem? Why is that so significant? It is said that's the place, the rock in which God had Abraham to go on the mountain and offer up Isaac. They call it the Mosque of Omar. They call it the Dome of the Rock. You know what the battle's over? That Palestinian outfit, that raghead, that Muslim outfit, they want to come into the city, drive them out, and build their temple and claim that city for their own. It's not their city. It's not their land. It's not their lineage. Come on now. It's not their God. It's not their law. Are y'all listen to me? In every nation now, since Israel had a new birth, after World War II, every nation began to grant them some liberty and grant them a parcel of ground until she became such a burden that they just about despise her. They had to blow a drone up with Patriot missiles just the other day. Guess where they're getting all the industry, the knowledge and ability and the rockets and all that stuff from? They're getting it from China and they're getting it from Russia. Guess who's going to come down on horses? Guess who's going to come across the mountain? Guess who's coming down to the valley of Megiddo? Guess what? Come on now. And they are going to wake up and they're going to come down and they're awake right now. You might as well believe it. And had not been for the hand of God, they'd done been down there. But aren't you glad, thank God, that Benjamin Netanyahu ain't afraid of our president? He ain't afraid of the UN. He ain't afraid of nobody else. God give him a fortitude and a backbone, and he'll stand up. Did you pay attention to his speech? You know what the rhetoric is today? You are a bunch that came in here and took away the land from the Palestinian people. You have no right to this land. We had it first. Give away this land. Give away this property. Everything will be better. Did you hear what Benjamin Netanyahu said? He talked about Abraham. He talked about the little sweet psalmist of Israel, David. He talked about how his forefathers had right because of the lineage back to Abraham, to that city, and to that land because of their lineage. You know why Israel's such a burden to the Congress and to the U.S. government and to the president, whoever he might be? It's because they know that they belong to Abraham, and they know that God gave them that land. They got drove out once, and they're not going to go out without a fight this time, honey. And you believe one thing: they may get whooped on, and they may get pushed around, but there's coming a day, praise God, the great King of the universe and the great conqueror of the world will come down and do battle. Wow! Now you better vote for her lineage. This nation is right now standing at a crossroad of life and death, of cursing or blessing. And it'd be pulled by the lever of the public at large. And if they go the wrong way, they'd go over me preaching about it. And they'd go over my prayers and my tears. And I'll bow to the God of the universe and say, I warned them, I told them, but let her happen, buddy. I'm on the winning side. They can do what they want. I'll cry while it's happening, but just any day now, I'm fixing to leave out of here. Just any day, I'm leaving out of here. Ooh, I feel good. Can I say about their legacy? I remember being in Bible college. Brother Joe may remember this. Remember that fellow that was a priest and got saved, and he fought in the 6-Day War. He came to the college. Maybe I seen him in temple or somewhere. I sat under him somewhere, heard this man preach. And he was a colonel in the 6-Day War. Everybody knows that Israel had no chance in this world of winning that 6-Day War. He said it got so bad, church, that they had weapons that wouldn't fire. They were so ragged and tagged and poor that they didn't have enough bullets to go in their guns. But they were ordered to go out on patrol. And they're out on patrol, and here comes a garrison of all the Egyptians and their army down to capture them men. And all of a sudden, with tears in his eyes, he watches that whole crowd drop their weapons down, lay down on the ground, and surrender. They walk over there, take away all their armor, take away all their machinery, their guns, and they march them off and put them in a camp of prison. And when they got over there, they was interrogated and said, let me ask you a question. Why did you surrender? They said, all them men in white was standing around y'all. Where's all them men that was still around y'all? Where'd they go? He didn't quite get it. I mean, that man didn't quite understand all of that. Then they're up on top of a ridge, brother. Down in the valley is another great host of their enemy. And he said, they didn't know what to do. So they took tanks and they took jeeps. Tank, jeep, tank, jeep, tank, jeep. And they had the tanks with the barrels over the top of that crevice of that ridge. Down in the valley is all the enemy. And they took 55-gallon barrels, filled them halfway full of rocks. And when the nighttime hit, they turned all the lights on of all of them jeeps and tanks and rolled them barrels down the hill. That crowd surrendered. And when they found out that they'd been hoodwinked, they felt like such fools. And in 6 days, that little group, rag-tattered bunch of little Jews, that just got their nation back and just